Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be making this kimono with ASO-OKE fabric. Now, ASO-OKE fabric comes in different tiny pieces and doesn't normally come as a full fabric in yardage. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to join those tiny pieces together to get a full kimono looking like this. So if you're interested, keep on watching and let's get started. Alright guys, to make this, you will need to get an ASO-OKE fabric. Now, when you're getting one, make sure you're getting a full ASO-OKE. Don't get the one that is just about 5 pieces. That's not going to make you a full kimono. Go for the one that is very full. It's actually quite expensive. So if you're making this as ready to wear or you're making it for someone and they send you the money, make sure that you collect money that's going to be enough for you to buy a full ASO-OKE, not just the one that is enough for hair tie, okay? So now once you've gotten this, the next thing you want to go ahead and do is to open up one line and then go ahead and fold it into two like I've done here. Now, you will decide after folding it into two, you're going to measure to see the length that you want your kimono to be. So for me, I want my kimono to be around 38 inches by the time I'm done. So this fold that I've made here, as it's folded into two, you're going to measure from one end here to where your fold ended on the other edge. So what I have here is about 40 inches, which is just perfect, so that by the time I'm done with everything, it falls down to 38 inches. So once you're done, go ahead and cut it out. This is just one of it. So for this particular kimono that I'm making for my size, I'm going to cut out 6 of these just the way I folded the first one. So in total, I'm going to be cutting out 6 pieces. So I already cut out one. I'm going to now use that one to cut out all the remaining 5 that I will be needing. So I'll be cutting out 6. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how we work it very soon. You guys will understand everything very soon. So just go ahead and cut out 6 in total, just like this. So fold the fabric into 2 and then use it to cut out 6. So now we have 2. I'm going to cut out 4 more. So now this is it. This is 3 here and then 3 here. Okay, I'm done cutting out all the 6 pieces that I said we should cut out. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out another piece. Now this particular piece we're going to be cutting out, unlike what we've been doing before that we'll fold the fabric into 2, this particular piece we are not going to be folding the fabric into 2, but we're still going to be using the same 40 inches to cut that one out. So I just placed my fabric here on it, 40 inches long, but for that one you will not be folding it into 2. Okay, so you have 6 folded into 2, 1 not folded into 2. So once you're through with that, you're going to now go over to the sewing machine and start stitching down 3 3. So I'll stitch down 3 separately and stitch down the other 3 separately. Remember the 6 pieces we cut out, so we are going to stitch down 3 of them separately and then the other 3 separately. So now to stitch this down, it's very simple. You know how you go about stitching your gele, where you place one on top of the other. Okay, so that's how we're going to be stitching it. So you just place one on top of the other like this, and then you're just going to go ahead and pin it down, go over to the sewing machine and just literally make a top stitch. Once you're through with these 2, add the third one and go ahead and make a top stitch. Now you will do the same thing for the other 3. Don't join all of them together, just 3 3. So this is what it looks like. It's just like your normal gele, the way you go about sewing it. So I'm done with this. I'm going to just add the third one here now, and that will basically be it for these 3. Then I will do the exact same thing for the other 3. Alright guys, so I'm done stitching down the 3 pieces. Okay, so now this is 1 2 3. Okay, and this is another 1 2 3. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to be joining these 2 pieces together with the half that we cut out earlier. All right, remember I told you guys to cut out 1 extra, but it should not be folded into 2. So if you look at it, you notice that it's actually half of what the other ones are. So you're going to use this half to join the 3 pieces that you join together. So that's going to put everything together. So just like I'm doing here, you just align it at the bottom, let it align very properly at the bottom, and then just go ahead and pin this down on one side. So once you're done pinning it down on one side, pin it to the other side as well. So that way you've joined everything together at the back, and then you have one side looking open on the other side. So that part that is open is going to be the front of this kimono. So this place that we're using this half to pin down is the back. If you're someone who really understands sewing, you will understand what I'm actually doing here. So now I'm done pinning down the one side, and then the other side here, I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down as well. Make sure that the part you're pinning down is the straight part, okay? You can see I had to turn this upside down to make sure that it's straight. So now you just place this on top of the other one, that's the other three pieces, and just go ahead and pin it down. So now I'm done pinning it down, and this is what it looks like. Now from this area where the half one that we cut out stopped, okay, if you take it just like I've taken it like this and pull it over, you will realize that we already have the front. You know how kimono is, the front is open, the back is fully covered. So by cutting out your pieces like this, you have already covered the back, and then you have the front opening. I really hope you understand. So now the area where the other short one ended is the neckline area for the back. So these two pieces now will do the front, and then this half that we added to the center is what will make the back. Okay, so that will cover up for the back. So now for the back neckline, all we have to do is to just make it round. It cannot just be standing straight like this. Okay, so I'm just using my free hand to do like a round neckline on that half piece that we use to join them together to make the back. Okay, so now we have our round neckline on the back, and then we have our two front pieces here in front. So now I'll go over to the sewing machine and just make a top stitch to secure the back down, and then we'll work on the neckline. So I am done stitching it down. It's exactly the same thing I showed you guys on the sewing machine before. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, and this is our round neckline here. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to put a band around the neckline, just like you would do for any kimono. So what I have here, the band that I cut out is folded into two. Okay, and as it's folded into two, it is 2 inches wide. Okay, so now, just like your normal kimono, if you already know how to make one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this band all the way around the neckline, and I'm just going to go over to the sewing machine and stitch it down. So just like this, okay? From the bottom, you want to make sure that the band you're cutting is very long. It's long enough to go around the neckline. That's from the bottom in front all the way through the neckline and back to the bottom in front. I hope you understand. So, I mean hem, not bottom. So yeah, this is it. I'm just going to go ahead and pin the band all the way around the neckline, and I'm going to go over to the sewing machine to stitch this down. Now at this band area, you will notice that it's very thick. ASO-OKE is usually very thick. So you need to use a very strong needle, else it's going to actually break your needle and make your sewing machine start misbehaving because it's thick. But if you have a strong needle, you would actually be able to sew this seamlessly, as most of the fabric is thick, but it's still thread, so it's easy to pass through. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin it around, as you can see, and I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and just make a straight stitch to place the band all the way around the neckline. All right guys, so I'm done stitching it around the neckline, and this is what it looks like. Now if you do this, make sure to weave the rough edges, because ASO-OKE actually frays a lot. The threads will be coming out, okay? So you need to weave it. So after I was done securing it on around the neckline, I went ahead to make a top stitch just to secure it in place, and then folded the edges of the kimono. All right, so now the next thing that I want to do is to finish up the side. And to finish up the side of this kimono, I'm using the butterfly boo-boo method. Okay, we're not going to be sewing it from the inside, we're just going to make a top stitch like a butterfly boo-boo. Okay, so I really hope you guys understand what I'm doing here. So this is the front. We've passed the band around the neckline. Now you will notice that I have 3 pieces on each side of this kimono. All right, so now before you go ahead and stitch down the body size of the kimono, you want to measure to make sure that the pieces that you have stitched together is going to be enough for your client. For most people, this 3.5 one is just going to be enough. For most people, for a lot of people, this will be enough for a size 10, a size 12, even a size 14. It's boo boo, so it's going to work for a lot of people. So now, to get the area where we're going to be stitching down on the side, I have measured my body. So my bust measurement divided, my hip measurement divided by 4 is just from here to here. Okay, so from here, I'm going to add an extra about 6 inches, which is going to serve as ease. Okay, you can add 5 inches. I decided to go with 5 inches. So this is where I'll be making my stitch here. So you measure your body measurement and then add a lot of inches as extra for ease because it's a boo-boo. So once you've gotten where you want to follow, you're just going to come down from the shoulder. So I am coming down from the shoulder by 11 inches. I don't have my chalk around, so I'll just use my pin to just pin on the spot where I'm going to start my stitching, so which is right here. Okay, so I'll start my stitch from here and I'll sew all the way down. Okay, so I'm following this black line here, so I'll just sew all the way down. When I get to the end, I'll just leave about 5 inches to the end and I'll stop somewhere around here. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to just make a top stitch. It's a butterfly boo-boo, so I'll stitch from here down to this spot here. So what I do on this side, I will do exactly on the other side as well. So I'm just going to top stitch from here to here to secure this side, and I'll do the exact same thing for the other side. If you're bigger, you can do maybe this yellow line, or you can follow the one after it. It actually just depends on how big the person is. So now I'm done stitching it down. I'm done making my top stitch. So you can see I've stitched it down here. Because I used the black thread, you can't really see my stitch. And I did the exact same thing on this other side as well. Just made my top stitch to secure it in place. And this is what we have. So that's basically all for the making of this boo-boo. All you have to do is to just join your pieces together and it just goes like very easy. So I hope that you actually find this tutorial helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.